do. So let me share my screen. We can get started. Okay, so I think the biggest update that has really been mind-blowing is the linking and the being able to embed your video. So the way that I saw this right from day one was this is going to be awesome for teachers to be able to put their mini lesson on the same page as they're going to be able to give the work that needs to be done. So there's different ways of organizing it, and really depending on the grade level of students that you have, you can make this as complicated or you can make this as simple as you want. But in the end, it's kind of going to be what you need it to be, is what the goal is so that you feel comfortable with that. So I'm going to go to here real quick. If you were in the last session, I already shared a bunch of links, and this was one of them to this activity, just so that you have the template for it. I'll do it again when I send you the recording of this session. But this was something that I was thinking for our younger learners, because I thought that that was the problem with, you know, starting with Seesaw, those kids that are coming in as kindergartners or at the ELC and have never touched a computer program before or don't have the experience with it. Something that's very visual for them was gonna make it really great for them. So I'm just gonna edit this so you can see what this looks like. And this is just taking a template of, you know, some clip art of a iPad, and these are today's lessons. This is it. Like, this could be my morning message, this could be my reading activity, my math activity, and all that fun stuff. And starting August 14th, that's when the new update will come out. All of these links that you can put in here could link to an activity, a Seesaw activity. So instead of the student having to go to the light bulb and scroll through all of the activities, they'd be able to go directly to the activity that they were assigned to or needed for that. What's nice about this is that it's all right on one page, so that they don't have to keep going back and kind of shuffling through what they will see and what they won't see. And so you can see, you can add a link to anything. So if this is their writing assignment for the day and they click on it, it will automatically take them to page 2. And now on page 2, this could be me doing my mini lesson, recording myself, and I'll just put myself right here. You can resize it and move it so that that's my mini lesson. The students would watch me first, and then they would complete the activity, and it's all done on one page. So I'm going to show you really quick how to do this part. If you just go to the camera and you click on video, it will enable, oh, it's going to ask me if I want to re-record because I already have one. And then it's going to make my video live. So here is where I would teach my mini lesson, and then I would be able to, you know, do everything that I need to do. The recording only lasts 5 minutes, but there's also a little trick where you can use a computer program that will condense your recording so that it could be a little bit longer, and you can still put it into Seesaw. But if you're recording in Seesaw, up here in the corner, you can see that it's a 5-minute time slot. So for our younger kids, 5 minutes is more than enough for us to pay attention to us and to kind of get what they need to do. So when I click done, the video that I'm recording right now will just show up on that slide, and then I can resize myself, and then I can kind of put that up in the corner, and then that could be my mini lesson, and then this could be the work that they're going to do. Or you can put a link into something outside of Seesaw. So let's say that this was a YouTube video that I have. It's called Capital Letters for Kids. It's a cute little video talking about where capitals and periods go in a sentence and all that good stuff. They could do this first, and I just made it a little bit more obvious. I put the eyeball emoji in there and wrote the word watch so that they knew this was something they were supposed to watch before they come back to this page and complete it. So let's say they've completed this page, they've used the pencils or they've used the label feature or whatever else. I also put the little home button down here so that they can click on it. And when they're finished with this page, it would take them back to the original first page. So really simple organization of going back and forth is what's going to help them. Same thing with, you know, page number 2, page number 3, page number 4, and keep going on and on and on. This page, I know it's really hard for us to keep kids accountable, especially for computer programs. So like Imagine Learning, even a blank slide like this, draw or write about one thing you learned from today. You could say, you could use anything, you know, record yourself, do a video, take a picture and record over it and tell me something you learned from Imagine Learning. It's just a quick peek that they've actually done what they need to do. You could do this with specials. So if this was an art activity that she wanted to send to you, you could, you know, put the video here, her teaching or whatever else, and this is where the work would be completed. That's really up to you how you want to do it. I put the house at the end of every page except for the very last page so that they know that they're done with today's work and they can click the green check. They don't have to finish it all in one sitting. They can continue to hit the draft button, but that's something you're going to have to teach them that, you know, I finished page 1, I can hit the draft button. I go back to it, I finish page 2, so on and so forth. So it's not all done in one sitting. What I feel like what students do sometimes is they sit down and they just want to get it over from 9 to 10 in the morning, and then the rest of the day is free for them. So hopefully this would, you know, make them chill out a little bit more if you were already looking at 10 in the morning and you saw that all 5 pages were done and maybe not done to the point that you wanted to. But just a simple way for you to be able to do that. That's all built within Seesaw. So I didn't go outside of Seesaw with Google Slides to create that. That's all built within Seesaw. So it's just using the shapes and then the emoji keyboard that you can use in Seesaw. The one thing that I did show the other group, in case you don't know about it, is the Seesaw Chrome extension, which will make your life much easier. So here's some of the fluency posters that I used in my classroom. I don't know that I can make this smaller, but let's just say I want to put this poster in my Seesaw class. So here I am going to go to the drawing. If I go to the Seesaw extension and you just go to the Chrome store, it's called Reflect in Seesaw is the extension name, and then it'll show up at the top of your computer. When you click on it, oops, when I'm in where I want it to go and I click on it, I can capture the whole screen, but it will capture everything. Like it will capture everything up here. So I do like the selected area because then I can kind of pick what I want it to show. And when I click on it, it puts it right into Seesaw for me. So I don't have to download it, then upload it, then move it over again, or whatever else needs to happen. It just goes right there. You can do an 8.5 by 11. You just have to make your screen shorter. But I think because I have saved those as PDFs, that's why it's doing that. But then again, here's the one where the rubric is here. And then students look at the posters and they see, you know, what it is that they need to improve on their fluency. And then it's all built within there. So that's really great. Plus you could also add a video to any work that they've done as a feedback feature. So let me see if I can get back into that one. I have so many tabs open and so many classes. So here's one where the student is completing work, but maybe not completing it totally or the exact same way or the way that I want it done. They didn't follow the directions or whatever. So I can go back and I can give them some feedback. So if this was in my review, I would click on review and I would find this, but because I used this in my last session, it's already edited. But so the directions were that the student was to click on the microphone and count to 20 and use the marker and do that while they can. There's no recording and all there are dots. So I don't know that the student really knows how to record to 20. So I went in and I created a second page, and that second page recopies the activity, but now this is their feedback and then the reteach moment. So the feedback is from me like, hey, great job, but all I see is a bunch of dots. You need to hit the record button over here, look at the arrow. And when you record as you're marking the boxes, make sure that you're also recording. And if you don't remember how to count to 1 to 20, don't forget we sing this song every day. You can click on this link. It will take you to the song, and then you're able to reteach and give feedback at the same time. Now you still have the student's original work on page 1, but then you have the second one after the reteach. So now you have 2 pieces of evidence of what the student might be struggling with or what they might be doing well in. So I do love this, putting my face on every page, especially for students that, you know, our SPED students, our EL students who need to hear the directions, maybe aren't gonna read them, maybe aren't gonna listen to them, but if my face is there. I also like the fact that our kids will continuously see our faces all day long in different ways and in different modes that way. I wanted to show you really quickly because I know we talked earlier about the Bitmoji classrooms kind of being this huge thing, and Kaylin, who is I think at South, she did this great Bitmoji classroom. And what I loved about this is that how simple it is. A lot of those Bitmoji classrooms get way too cluttered with teachers putting desks in and chairs in and, foofy chairs and 27 books on a bookshelf and things like that. But we have to remember that if kids can't click on everything, then it's going to make them really frustrated that the other things have something to click on and will go somewhere and some won't. So she did this really simple. This is her calendar for the morning. She has links to their newsletter for families and whatever else she wants to do, announcements. But then on the bookshelf, it's really simple. Like, here's your schedule, here's your check-in for the day. If you finish all your work, you have a choice to do something else, and then another checkout. So I don't know what the district is looking to do. It would be nice if we could link in the Zoom link right here so they didn't have to get out of something to get back into something. I don't know if it's going to be possible. I know they're worried about privacy and things like that. But I thought this was a really great example of her just really making it simplified. It's still cute. It's still her. It still has part of her classroom in it. And of course, her little dog, which is so cute. But then very, very simple. And each one of these will link to what it is that she needs to do. So starting August 14th, these links for her check-in and her check-out and anything else, her schedule, could be linked directly to a student activity. So if you had an activity where they had to check in and tell you how they're feeling today or whatever else, that could be linked in right here on this picture, which would be really great for students. And then I'll show you Stephanie Cato's, where she just really does a bulletin board every day to show you, here's her morning message. She's recorded herself. Here's some links to the Zoom meetings, if we can put those on, or times. And then over here, she will put today's schedule. So if she had a reading activity, they could click here and it would take them directly to their activities folder, and they could find the activity that they wanted to do. Then math, then whatever else could all be listed here. This could be a reminders thing, but a great way to start the morning every day is to see your teacher's face. Now, you don't have to record it that morning of. If you want to, you can, or you can do it the night before, and now your focus can be, what am I teaching during that live Zoom meeting? Or are all of my activities done for the day and they're already put there, and now kids would just have to see that. So I like the way that there's different ways to organize and different ways to present it to students so that they feel like they're still doing what they need to do, get what they need to get done, but it's all in one spot. And so I think that's probably my biggest takeaway from the new Seesaw updates, is that the organization really kind of makes sense more to me than anything else. So I think I covered most of the stuff that would be kind of new. So I want to know, what do you guys need to see? What do you have questions about? What is it that you're feeling maybe a little stuck on with the way that the district has kind of laid out our schedule?
I have a question.
Tracy.
Yes. Somebody said that you said in one of your other sessions, now it's easier to do everything on Seesaw instead of Google Slides. Mm-hmm. I guess the part I'm struggling with, like, my teammate and I are doing things together. Mm-hmm. I mean, is there an easier way? Because I feel like in Seesaw, if you make an activity and I share it with her and then she edits it, I can't get the edited version because she's already made a copy to edit. I guess that, what's the easiest way to do it? I mean, because we're pretty much just making it on Google Slides, we're making it all cute, transferring it into Seesaw, and then adding the links. I mean, is there an easier way? Am I missing something?
No, if you're doing the background in Google Slides, go for it. If that's your simplest way to do it. The things that you want to put into Seesaw for the day would be like your live video of your face. You could have different links because these need to be live for them to click on. If you put the links in Google Slides, it's not going to carry over here.
Correct.
Unless you do that whole other process that we used to have to do back in the spring. So that's the thing. If you want to do all your creation, go for it. It's just the simple locking the things in that makes sense. Plus, if I'm doing it as an activity, can I just share my activity with that teacher and we both send out the same thing at the same time? Maybe she's doing Monday's work and you're doing Tuesday's work, or maybe she's doing all of the math activities and you're doing all the reading activities. These links would only change, like if this was your reading activity, only the link would change, but not the icon that they're going to have a reading activity every day, or the math activity every day. So think about the things that you could put in place that would just be standard stock every single day. They're going to see the same thing. And then in Seesaw, you can add the live links. So again, it's really up to you. if this is easier for you to create in Google Slides, go for it. I think there isn't a lot of collaboration as far as two people being able to work together on an activity, but I'll be honest with you, in the beginning, all I did was share my login with the other teacher, and then she could be working on it and I could be working on it, obviously not at the same time, but it's under my name, and then the finished product would just be shared with her when we were done. So it's really up to you, Tracy, on what works for you guys and your time frame.
Right, because it gets tricky, well, when one person says, okay, I'll do the read aloud, and the other person says, well, I'll put in the flipped math lesson. But then, like, if I edit it and she takes it and she edit it, then all of a sudden both recordings are not in there. Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to figure out what's an easier way to do that.
Exactly. You're exactly right. It's not flexible enough for you to, I mean, she can create the first lessons, then give it to you, then you add yours, and then the final activity would be shared back with her. You could do that. She would have all of your links, because if when you copy and edit, she would still get everything that's in there. She would just edit out the pieces that she didn't want in there that maybe had your face versus hers.
Right, right. And then I had one other question about Safe Share.
Yep.
In the spring, I started to use the Safe Share for the videos, but it did not work on my kids' iPads.
Yeah, I just sent an email to Adam and Dan kind of asking if they had some guidance from the district on what they would recommend that we use, because we had the same thing. We started with Safe Share, then we tried Pure Video, I think it was, and we tried all these different ones, and sometimes they would work and sometimes they wouldn't. So they kept telling us it was because of the filter, which didn't make sense a bit, because everybody has the same filter, yet some kids were able to do it and some kids weren't. So I'll let you know if I hear an answer back from that. Hopefully they can address the whole district with that, because yeah, that kind of makes it a little hard to insert YouTube videos without having something for it to go through.
Right, because I had heard like the kids with the laptops were not having trouble, but the kids with the iPads were. I mean, is that what you were hearing too? Okay.
Yes, and I don't know if it's because, you know, on the iPads, a lot of that is through the Adobe Flash player. So if it even touches any of the Adobe Flash, you can't do it on a computer screen.
There's a difference between Safe Share and then there's the Safe YouTube. There's two. I don't know if you know that too.
Yeah.
Safe YouTube worked for my iPads. The Safe Share didn't.
Yeah, we had a lot that worked for Safe Share. Then we went to Safe YouTube. Then we went to Video Pure, I think it was. Like, we just kept making them on whatever would work for the biggest amount of people, because we had the same thing. We had parents like, this is great video, but I can't see it. I can see it on my phone, but I can't see it on the device.
Right.
Because that was my first thing, was like, oh, maybe you have your parent settings on your internet, and that's what's blocking it for students, but it didn't seem like that. Okay, one of the questions is how to create a Bitmoji classroom on Seesaw. Okay, so I think that when the update comes out, and I don't know because I got to play with it for literally 2 hours and then they took it away from me, you can click on the link that takes you to the activity, but it does take you out of like the home board or the choice board. And then I think you do have to click to go back in, like once you send the green check to send work off. I think that's the way it's going to work. Again, I don't know. It comes out on the 14th for everybody, so hopefully we'll have a day or two to play with it before we get to play with it for kids. But I think in the beginning, take it slow, because a lot of these kids over the summer probably didn't really play with Seesaw very much. So especially with our little ones, we're going to have to demo everything for them. Okay, I'm going to show you really quickly how to do a Bitmoji classroom and how it can all be created. Now, I'm doing it just in the post-student work, but you're going to want to do this as an activity, and this would be the student template, because you don't want to have to keep recreating this. You can change the activity and change some of the things, but your base classroom in the background would just be this. So if I click on the drawing tab, and then this is where the Seesaw extension is going to come in amazingly, because people are giving away their Bitmoji templates for free, so don't pay for anything because it's not worth it. So if you just go to Bitmoji templates free, You can see people who are giving, you know, just their basic Bitmoji, and some of them don't have, like this one doesn't have a person in it, so you can, you know, have it be customized to yourself. So I'm just going to use the extension again, and I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to select the classroom, and then it's going to put it right in here for me. So now I already have my background, and this is kind of what Tracy was saying. None of this stuff can be clicked on. So this could be a great background for you to use. And then you can add your pieces. So the other thing that I mentioned in the other session was that there's also a Bitmoji Chrome extension where if you click on it, you can get your Bitmoji right here on your screen. And then if you type in the word pose, it will take away all the words and only give you the pictures of you in a pose without all the words. And then you just copy and paste. And so now here I am. Look at how short I am compared to that. Wow. Okay, there we go. Much better. Okay. And then exactly the same way, you're going to lock this piece into place because you don't want kids to be able to move this. But then when I was talking about being simple, here could be your math activity for the day. Here could be your reading activity for the day. Here could be your Zoom link. And then maybe there's one book here that could be your read aloud. I'm going to show you that really quick so I can show you what this looks like. So again, I'm just going to find a picture of the book that I like. And then I'm going to go to my extension and I'm just going to capture the picture of it. I'm going to stick it on my bookshelf, and this will be the read aloud for the day. Now, because I copied this from the internet, it automatically links it right here, do you see, as a Google image. So to get rid of that first link, go to the 3 dots, go to link, and hit the X. Now I can link this. I can link this either to a YouTube video of it being read. So I could go to YouTube and find somebody else doing the read aloud, which is fine. Or I can do it so that I can videotape myself and put my own link in there of me reading the book. That could be possible too. So I'm just going to go.
Hello, read.
She seems really excited to read, so we'll let her do it. And then we'll just enter the link in there and click the green check button. And now when students are in here, I'm going to lock it again. When students are in here, they'll just click here and it will take them to the YouTube read aloud video of that book. So the book is on the bookshelf. The students know that's their read aloud for the day. Here could be their math, again, reading, their Zoom, whatever else. You could do a calendar. You could write, you know, what's today's date. All of this fun stuff is exactly what you could do. The difference with doing it in Seesaw is that when you were in Google Slides, you used to be able to just do the background in Google Slides, but now you can add whatever you want. And I'm going to show you a little trick with that website that I love, the Remove BG. So let's say that I do want to add a scoop chair. Oops. So I find an image of a scoop chair that I like. And I'm just going to drag it onto my desktop because that's just simplest for me. I have so many things open that I can't even drag something to my desktop right at this moment. Come on. There it is. Okay, then I go to this website. It is called remove.bg. And all it does is it takes whatever picture you have. Come on. I just paid a lot of money to upgrade my internet. I'm so happy about that. All right, maybe this needs to be refreshed. Hold on. There it is. So now I can just take that piece of furniture, I can put it here, and then I'm going to click on download. and here's my chair without any background on it. So if you find something that has background on it, you can take the background right out. Jeez Louise, come on. Okay, I'm gonna put it on my desktop just so that I know where it's at. Okay, now when I'm in my Bitmoji classroom, I can just go to the camera, go to upload, find it on my desktop, which was Scoop. And there it is without the background. So now I can put it wherever I want it to go. But again, like this is the extra stuff. So think about if it's really important for your student to have a Scoop chair in their classroom, because if there's nothing, no live link to click on, it's just gonna be frustrating for them that they don't have stuff that they can click on. They're gonna be clicking, 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 knowing that you entered it here, but there's no live link for them to do any activity. So this makes more sense to put things that will have a live activity to go with them. But it's as simple as that, and you can make your Bitmoji classroom as crazy as you want to. You can change it for every season if you wanna do holidays, you know, all of that good stuff. I think this is engaging for students. It's not like they're just clicking on a list of links to, you know, get their work done. The fact that there's a book actually on a bookshelf is nice, you know, that their math activity might be, you know, a stack of manipulatives here and they click on that and that might be their math activity. So it's really about how involved you want to get and what you think your kids will be, you know, more engaged in and want to do things like that. I hope that helped a little bit on what you were thinking. Okay. How to download the Google Chrome extension. Of course, I can show you that. It's so nice and simple. So when you are in your Chrome extension, so you have to be in Chrome. So up here it'll say Chrome. And then you just, this toolbar is driving me insane. Okay, right here, if you just go to, goodness gracious, come on. The Chrome store is what you're gonna Google. You're gonna click on it, it'll say Chrome Web Store. And when you're in here, you're just gonna go into the field of search and just put in Seesaw. And when you do that, it should be the first one that comes up. It's called Reflect in Seesaw Extension. Now, because I already have it on my screen, you will get this. It will say add to Chrome versus rate it. You click on add to Chrome and then automatically it will put it up here for you. And then it will be available for you. So it's quick, simple, and easy. And hopefully that will help you with that. Also with the Bitmoji one, if you just go here and you click on Bitmoji, it will make you sign into your Bitmoji account, but your face and everything will already be done, your clothes, so you don't have to recreate it because it's just gonna take it from whatever other account you want to. Speaking of Bitmoji, I don't know if you guys know that trick on how to make a customized Bitmoji for your students. So if this was student work and I wanted to put a sticker on here, if you go, this is only available in the Bitmoji Chrome extension. It's not available on our phones or anything yet. But if I wanted to write good job, it will bring up everything that says good job. But now I want to personalize it. And if I want to say good job, Tracy, see how it changes it to good job, Tracy? So now I can copy this sticker and I can put it on Tracy's work and then she would get a customized Bitmoji sticker. It only works in Chrome and it only works on the extension. So if you try it on your phone, it won't work. If you try it on an iPad, it won't work. It's only on the Bitmoji extension you can get on Chrome. So just thought that was fun for teachers who like to put their stickers on student work instead of, you know, giving them feedback or any of that kind of stuff. Any other questions? Anything I can show you guys? All right. So Carolyn, it's interesting that you say that because Stephanie Cadle, who's the first grade teacher over at OP, she's asking if we'd be interested in doing an icon training for parents and young students. We've been looking for, I would say, the past week to see if there's videos already out there. And there's not anything that's really specifically going tool by tool. So Stephanie was talking about recruiting some people to actually do like a training video, whether it's for parents or for students, to say, here is where you find the camera tool, and this is what the camera tool does. Here is where you would find the drawing tool. Here are all the things that you can do in the drawing tool. And so keep an eye out for that, because I know she's been very willing to share everything in the district library. So just check it out. But I think that's the best thing that we have going right now. As far as I know, there aren't a lot of videos that just talk about tools. There was a lady, and I think I put it in my activity library. Let me see really quick, because she did do one, but I mean, it's her name, which I know you can change things out and stuff like that, but you might have to redo the video, which is kind of defeating the purpose of somebody else doing the work for you. And you just being able to have it, take it. Okay, not in this class, it's in this one. Yeah, here she is. She just does the drawing tutorial, but this is a video of her, you know, saying welcome, and this is what they do. Let me see if I can get to it. So see how she just used her Bitmoji to kind of talk about, this is what this does. It's a text box. This one lets you record. And this could be your own voice over each one of these pages. But this was just the drawing tool, because there's so many things on just the drawing tool. But I'll put this in the district library just so that you guys have access to it too. Let's see. So I can share the activity, and then I can share it to the district library there, in case you guys didn't know that. You can do that, and it'll only let you pick 3 grades. So I try to pick ones that are in between, and then you can just share it. Oh, it's making me fill out the subject. I'm gonna call it digital citizenship. That sounds good. Okay, so now when you guys go to this tab right here, district and school, you can see that this activity is available for anybody in the district. So if there's ever anything that you do and you want to share it, there it is right there. You can just put it in there, and then you can change it up however you want to. There's tons of people who've done things that are very specific to District 62, where it's their way sorts. Some people do their wonders units in here. So it's really fun to kind of go through here and see some things that people have already made. Don't, you know, work harder, work smarter. Here's another one that Stephanie just created. So her first screen, remember, was the one where it was like, welcome today, and here it was her morning message. And then here is another template that she used where she just created, here's where she'll link her mini lesson to page 2, which will then be her lesson here in an anchor chart, which I thought was fun. And then here would be the link to the activity once we get that update. And then I think on page 4 it was, yeah, she's gonna insert a video demo on how kids get to Clever and get to Imagine Learning, so that if it's on their list of things to do for the day, they will again have her face kind of walking her through it. But I thought this was fun for her to be able to just do it this simple. Like they could get this as they're reading and know that they had 3 activities or 3 things to do for all of reading for the day. I think she put, yeah, that was also in the district library. So like I said, make sure you triple check that, because it's definitely worth it when everybody is sharing what they've already done. Don't redo anything. Let's see. So to best assign a Google Doc essay writing for older students using Seesaw and Google Classroom, I can create a template and all students get a copy. Is there something similar to Seesaw? So there's not, but what you could do is you could link the Google form or Google Doc into Seesaw. So whenever you're in the screen where it gives you the 6 tools, if you go to link, you can put the link of the doc in there, and then they would just click on the doc in Seesaw. It would take them right to the document, instead of them trying to share that whole URL or making sure they're linked to the right thing. It would just be the thing. I'll show you what that looks like too. Are we able to link a book from Reading A to Z? Okay, so Reading A to Z is funny because you have to download it as a PDF for you to be able to then read it. So you're better off just downloading it and not trying to link it to the actual Reading A to Z website, if that makes sense. You can link to a website, but let's say you did, you know, link Raz Kids to a link, and you just went and it sent it out, it would still send them to the sign-in page. So if that's okay with you, if they know their sign-in and that's what you want to do, you can do that. It just won't take them directly into that one thing that you're looking for. What about sticker books? Is it an assignment or post? How do you get it each day? Tell me what you mean, sticker book. Tracy. You're muted. Sorry.
Sorry.
That's
I've
okay.
seen people make sticker books and I know how to make it. I just don't know, like, how do you keep adding stickers and what are the kids, is it an activity? Is it a post? Like, say on Tuesday, I want to give Susie a sticker. Like, where do I find her sticker? But I just didn't understand that part of it. Like, where are they? And
okay, so the reason I will say that I use something like a sticker book, it was more for a student who was on a behavior chart.
okay.
And I needed to do it digitally because the paper would maybe never make it home or he would forget it. So mom asked me to come up with a digital way to do that. So what I did was I just took a picture, literally a picture of a sticker page, you know, all those little circle dots.
Right.
And then each day, him and I would fill it out together, you know, red, yellow, green, whatever it was, or how many points he had gotten for the day. And then it would just be the communication back between mom and I, but it would stay in his journal. So in Seesaw, we have the opportunity to have a private folder that nobody can see any of the work. So I could keep it there, but then I couldn't share it with mom. So as soon as we went to, nobody could see each other's work, it didn't matter because I could create it in Seesaw. So here would be the sticker book. Let's just say, here's the sticker book. And then, you know, on Monday, I could make it, you know, he had a red day and then I would color in the red. Then the next day, whatever else. It would continuously be a green check so that mom would get the notification that it was sent and that the student work was done. But once that happened after Monday, I could go in and I could technically just edit the same item over and over and over again. So if I started the
So you just have to keep editing it.
yes, and then what I would do is I would just track it by the day. I would send the new sticker book out on Mondays because then this is the easiest way to track your work, is just go to the calendar and be like, oh, I sent that on Monday. Here's where I'm going to find his sticker book. So I didn't have to scroll through his 27 posts to try to find the sticker book every time. Or the other way you can do it is put it in a folder and then search your folder. So if I had a folder over here that was labeled sticker book, I could just click on the sticker book and it would give me that post over and over and over again. But yeah, you would have to go in and edit it every day and resend it out.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. What was the other question that I was supposed to show you and I forgot?
No, I think you did show them all.
No, something
Yeah.
Google, wasn't it?
Well, I think it was the collaboration piece of doing Google Slides versus Seesaw and how to do it with your team person. But you did kind of answer that. I feel like we just have to kind of do the background in Google Slides and then just add it to a Seesaw activity and add our links.
So somebody's asking about a read aloud. Is it better to just show the book or to show you? Anytime that we can show our faces, the district's going to eat it up because that's the goal, is to make this as much of our normal day as possible. Plus, don't forget when we're teaching expression and things like that, as teachers, we overly express so that they really get it. So it's never going to hurt to show your face. I think that would be a great way. Oh, I think I was going to show you the Google Doc thing, right? How to link the Google Doc. I can do that real quick. So here's the thing. You can do it as an activity and you can put the Google Doc in the template. The thing is if you're giving each kid an individual Google Doc, you can't do that as an activity because it will just keep sending them to the one doc. So the way to do this a little bit differently is you do have to post it to student work, but here would be the link. And then let's say everybody wants this document, which is the remote learning document, because why don't you guys want to read that? It's only 100 pages. And then you can link it right onto the page. So let's say this is Johnny's writing activity for the day. I can link his doc right in there. And what's nice about this versus sending them out to Google Forms or Docs or whatever else is that they don't have to search for it. It's right here already. So when they click on this link, they'll be able to, when they click on this link, it's going to take them right into their document, which saves that step of them trying to find out which doc did you send, which one, what is it titled, all of that good stuff. It's right here. Now, when I click on this, it's going to take me out of Seesaw, but it's going to put me right into the doc where I would be able to then type or do whatever it is that I want to do. So that's the benefit. It just saves the step of them having to go into their drive, look for the document, figure out who, you could set the settings already for the student to show that you're the, you know, the owner, or that you're sharing with them, and so on and so forth. This is going to work really great too if you have kids who are collaboratively working. So you could send this out to Seesaw to those 3 students. So if this was, you know, Johnny, Tommy, and Susie who were all working on this doc, I can click on their 3 names and all 3 would have access to that doc to then work on together. So that's the benefit of putting it into Seesaw, is that it takes it directly there. Versus them having to go into their drive and kind of searching for whatever it is that they're looking for. So I hope that made a little bit more sense. I can see where that would be beneficial, especially like in the middle school and things where they have more collaborative projects going on, that they're looking for some kind of collaboration. Okay, any other questions? I'm not sure that I've answered everything that you guys have chatted about. I'm looking really quickly. So somebody asked that in Google Classroom, I can create a template and students all get a copy. Is there something similar in Seesaw? The only way that a student can get the same template is if you tag all of the students in that same post. So let's say I go into the drawing board, the drawing pad, and I create a graphic organizer. I can tag all the students that I want to get that. Then that means that students would have to go to the 3 dots when they see it in their journal, and they would have to copy and edit it, or else they would continue to work on it together, or it would be tagged with all of those students. So it's a little bit more complicated for that, to do it that way. All right, you have 14 minutes, so take advantage. Anything else that I haven't covered that you might want to see, anything, because I will do my best to answer, but up until like next Tuesday, I have like 5 webinars a day. So I probably won't be answering as many emails, but I mean, as soon as we start on Wednesday, I'm hoping that I'll have a little bit of time, but I really want you to feel comfortable so that you can create everything in advance, so you don't have to be so stressed out about, you know, what those first few days is going to look like, or even the first week or so, because I think that that's going to be really hard just to get us used to having those kinds of relationships with kids all digitally.
Who is doing all our class lists? The LMC person?
So yes, your LMC people are the ones who are supposed to be doing your rosters and things. So if they have not been done, I know that Adam had sent me an email yesterday asking if the best way to go about this, because you guys must be emailing him or service, is that you can go ahead and create like a dummy class, like a practice class, and you can create all the activities you want because it'll save to the activity library. Then we'll delete that practice demo class, and then you'll get your actual class with your roster on it, and then you can go from there. But at least you have a means to be able to create, because here's the thing, if you unarchive a class from last year, it's now going to screw up all of those student IDs and emails showing that they're current students in 2 different classrooms and 2 different grade levels. So don't unarchive your class, try to keep it archived and just start a new class to be able to get to the activity features. That's the best way to go about it.
So their goal hopefully is to be done sometime next week, because we'll have to send something out that Monday.
So according to what I understand, their goal is to have all rosters completed by the 12th, our first day in the building. but I know that some buildings are looking to send out welcome letters and things like that. We can't send out welcome letters with login information if we don't have rosters and who's
Right.
in what class. So we have been communicating that this needs to be done sooner than later so that teachers can get all of that information together. If we want students to log in on the 17th, they have to be able to receive mail and everything else with that login information by latest the Friday before, so they know exactly what to do. So I think the goal is, though, this year across the board in the whole district, we're going to try to do Google sign in. So we don't have to worry about kids using codes and losing the code and not being able to log back in. So I
That
think
was so much easier. Yeah.
yeah, once they're logged in, they're fine. Plus, I think this year they're letting all of the specials teachers have their own class. So students will be able to toggle between, you know, homeroom class, art class, music class, gym class. And so you don't, as a teacher, don't have to worry about all those notifications for somebody else who's doing something differently with your students. It'll just be a learning curve for kids to try to figure out how to toggle, but you know, they know more than we do, and we act like it's hard for them when really they end up showing us so much more, you know. Yeah, exactly why we should start a week longer would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice to have 4 days of PD to be able to feel really comfortable about our first day of school? That would be great.
I mean, because they don't realize how long it takes to make these cute assignments, you know?
Absolutely.
Hours.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording, but you guys, we can